Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Gimme That Take, the fastest growing LIV Golf podcast of 2023. Stick around for more takes like this.
I'm talking about the ride out there. Remember the ride out there? We rented the minivan. We had the clubs in the back.
I
It was
remember the van. What did we do?
4:30 in the morning. No, I went to bed first. Nobody else was sober enough to drive. We hit the highway.
Yes.
We hit the highway, and it's literally 4:30 in the morning. It might even be earlier. We're hitting the highway. I'm in a van I've never driven in my life. I got all these sets of golf clubs in the back. Nobody's awake, and a family of deer are having a picnic on the highway. Like some of them are sitting down. One's like got a cigar and some scotch. It's the craziest sight you've ever seen. And I'm doing cool 90. And I'm in the, I was in the left lane. I'm flying up and I'm like, oh no, I got to either go through them or around them. I have no idea. And then everything, it's the moment that they tell you about. Everything just slows down to like a crawl. And I make a big swerve right. And as we're passing the deer and the clubs are flying throughout the minivan, I honk the horn at them. Why? I have no idea why I took my hands off the wheel to honk the horn at them. And then boom, back out in the left lane. And the two stooges wake up and they're like, what was that? What was that? LIV Golf is back again. Event number 2. We are back in America. We're going to Tucson, however you want to say it. And couldn't be more excited to actually watch LIV again. Of course, going up against the NCAA, so ratings, I'm not sure how they're going to be this weekend. Be a good first test to see if people actually have any interest in LIV and watching it on the app, but I think they'll still do just fine playing. Like I said, in Tucson, South Course at Gallery. It's a John Falk course. Mounded greens, big fairways. That people liken it to Donald Ross's Pinehurst number 2. So not a lot. Well, exactly 0 Papa Golf Alpha big events on this course. So not a lot of research, not a lot of scores to look at. But
yeah, I started trying to do research on this and I was like, oh no, am I doing something wrong? I can't find anything.
Champions Tour is committed to being at this course 2020 this year, I think 2023, 2028. So it'll be a big Champions Tour course, which is cool, I guess. Pinehurst number 2, though, Jay, 2014 US Open. Remember that?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, man. Martin Keimer, 9 under. He won. Only 2 others broke par.
Fowler was chasing.
Yeah,
that was fun
for a little bit. It was hot as hell. Remember, we were there.
Oh yeah,
nasty. We almost died that day. Remember that story?
We did. It was absolutely brutally hot though. Drinking, you couldn't even drink a beer. It was like 104 degrees. It was nuts.
I'm talking about the ride out there. Remember the ride out there? We rented the minivan. We had the clubs in the back.
I remember the van. What did we do?
4:30 in the morning. No, I went to bed first. Nobody else was sober enough to drive. We hit the highway.
Yes.
We hit the highway, and it's literally 4:30 in the morning. It might even be earlier. We're hitting the highway. I'm in a van I've never driven in my life. I got all these sets of golf clubs in the back. Nobody's awake, and a family of deer are having a picnic on the highway. Like some of them are sitting down. One's like got a cigar and some scotch. It's the craziest sight you've ever seen. And I'm doing cool 90. And I'm in the, I was in the left lane. I'm flying up and I'm like, oh no, I got to either go through them or around them. I have no idea. And then everything, it's the moment that they tell you about. Everything just slows down to like a crawl. And I make a big swerve right. And as we're passing the deer and the clubs are flying throughout the minivan, I honk the horn at them. Why? I have no idea why I took my hands off the wheel to honk the horn at them. And then boom, back out in the left lane. And the two stooges wake up and they're like, what was that? What was that?
Slow down, Aaron. What are you doing? Yeah.
A near-death experience on our way to the 2014 US Open that Martin Keimer won. A couple LIV guys played out there and did really well. Brooks finished T4. Dustin Johnson finished T4. So similar course. Think about that. Dustin
Right,
Johnson
we're
finished
taught
T4
these are numbers for
from the
for Pinehurst,
2014
too.
Pinehurst number 2. So the course that the South course is most easily compared to. Henrik Stenson T4, Kevin Na T12, and Ian Poulter finished T17 in that. If you look at the 2014 US Open, you want to try to find some stats to pick a golfer to bet on this week, and the odds are not out yet. And of course, we're going to play our game. So if you don't know, we are picking a golfer in every LIV Tour event. Can't use the same golfer twice. We're taking their cumulative 3-round score, and we're going to add those up throughout the season. Winner gets a round of golf on the losers, and the third place person gets a round of golf that they'll pay for in a skirt from the ladies' tees. This bet has me so excited. I don't know if I want to win or lose, to be honest.
I may actually shave my legs for that.
It's going to be epic. It's definitely going to be something you want to watch. 2014 US Open. I did a little stats digging here. 15 longest average drivers at that Pinehurst. 7 of them finished in the top 10. So 47% of the top 15 drivers in distance finished in the top 10. The 15 most accurate drivers. So is driving distance as far? Is accuracy important too? 15 most accurate drivers that weekend. Only 2 finished in the top 10. 17 most greens in regulation. Do you need to hit the greens? Only 5 of those finished in the top 10 of the top 17 in greens in regulation. Putting average, though, of the top 14 putters that weekend, 5 finished in the top 10. So pick a bomber who can putt. I'll give you guys some tips for later in the show when you pick your player. We'll go hole by hole like we did at Mayakoba, and we'll do the South course, and we're starting with Rome.
All right, gents. Hole number 1, par 5, 588 yards. So this course is in the desert. So you got a lot of short trees and shrubbery and sand and brush,
Cacti.
all around. And then you have, of course, the manicured course. It's nice and open. You have a bunker beginning on the left, about a third down. You have a trio of bunkers. As you close in towards the green, you have a big bunker, green side right around like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then one at like 3:30. A nice little one. Pretty nice open green though. Should be interesting.
Nice daylight savings reference there, doing the o'clocks. Love it.
I just figure it's for me, like, and if I'm looking at the green, I'm like putting it here, just saying it's a front side left or front side right. Like, if a bunker's on,
like Jay and I will do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. I don't want to be just like you guys. Obviously, I'd have to, shorten the length of my dick and lose a couple inches of height. So hole number 2 is a par 4, 467 yards. Let's see here.
Today, Junior.
I'm waiting for the video to load, dude.
Does it go left? Does it go right?
Yeah.
It always goes left.
So it's goes right to left. You do not have any bunkers at the beginning. You really only have them towards the end. There's 3. You have one flanking. You have 2 on the left, 1 on the right. The one near the green is front side left at about 7:30.
Oh, nice. I love this game.
Yeah. No. Looks like a fun hole to play. Hole number 3 is a par 3, 179 yards. You have a nice long bunker on the left side in the front. At the beginning of the fairway. You just have a small oval bunker front side right. Nice big green on the 3.
Sounds like a birdie.
Yeah. This looks like a pretty easy hole. From what we see with the pros playing, I think number 3 will be pretty easy.
You'd shoot a 9. They'd hit a 9-iron. You'd shoot a 9.
Probably. Hole number 4, 496 yards. This one has a nice big pond at the beginning of the hole on the right side, kind of, butts up against the left side, right before the fairway. As you approach towards the green, you have a nice big bunker on the left side, halfway down the fairway, a good sized one on the right, just before the fairway ends. And then right at the green, it's kind of an oblong shaped green with a green side, front side left. It actually looks like a pair of balls, the bunker does. So, Jay, stop drooling. Okay. Said it looks like a pair of balls, not an actual pair of balls. Moving on to hole 5 is a par 5, 616 yards.
Woo. Yeah, I mean, that's a long one. Yeah.
That's big. That's big. Well, I mean, but we were talking about before, it's pretty, Bomber is going to be able to get it out there, a whole lot quicker. This one is really interesting because the fairway is cut in two. On the first half, you have 2 large bunkers on the left, 1 on the right, and then you have a large gap in the middle, which is actually, I've seen this before. It's a washout, big station in the desert for a long time. When it rains, like once a year, like you get a torrential rainstorm, in the desert, the water has to go somewhere. So this is clearly designed for the water to flow through, so it doesn't actually ruin any of the grass, but it is a large gap. It looks to be about 30 or 40 yards across, like halfway down the fairway. And then you have 2 more bunkers on the left.
From the tee.
Yeah, I wonder. We'll have to pay
That'll
attention
be
to
interesting.
that, yeah.
Come into play.
It will. And there's a not butting up against the green. There's actually kind of a large gap in between. There's a large cylindrical bunker that is, I would say, depending on where you're standing, going straight, sits at an angle, a nice gap between the, I'd say
no
10
one's
or 15
coming
yards.
straight.
Yeah.
You like the word gap.
Yeah. Gap. That place that you worked at the mall back in the day.
That was Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And finally, last but not least, hole number 6, par 4, 458 yards. This one again, typical desert. You have patches where all the tees are. You have a nice little gap, and then the fairway with a bunker on the right side about halfway, and then you have 3 bunkers surrounding the green, 2 on the left on the front side, 1 on the right on the front side.
Nice. First 6 holes brought to you by Shapes and Clocks.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Today's word. Gap.
Yeah.
Gap. Mac, give us the gap holes between the first 6 and the last 6.
Nice. 7. Left is dead. You go left, you're out. Into the desert. It's 349 yard par 4. Landing from tee to fairway is about a 250 yard drive. Not going to be a problem for these guys, but depends. They're gonna have to pick club. Approach shot to 1 green laying on the left side 1 bunker on the left side of the green. Pretty large green. When it plays in the back, it's going to be more difficult. Longer shot in. Hole 8.
Comes after 7. It's the next one on
today,
the
Junior. I was waiting for it. We have a par 3, 171 yards. Again, not long for the guys on tour. Over sand to a slightly mediocre size green. Again, playing in the back might be a little more difficult to approach. There's not much room in the back. Hole 9 is a par 4, 448 yards. So a little bit longer than what we've seen. Again, most of the tee shots are over some sort of hazard, whether it be bush, green, or sand, whatever, being out where it is. Slightly dogleg left, about 350 yards off the tee box. So then you have about 100 yards in with a slight right to left. Hole 10 is a 534 yard par 5. It is, again, similar to other tee shots. You're going over part of the desert. Landing area is, you do come into some trouble. So you do have to pick your club wisely. I don't know exactly how far yardage is off the tee to the hazard, but there's maybe what Crispy was saying. It's more of like a little river style type deal.
It's a runoff area for
a runoff area that cuts through the fairway. It's kind of like you could take it left or take it right. It's kind of a mini golf type hole.
What the way it looks designed, it's like a dry creek bed.
Yeah, with some brush in there, which I'm sure the ball can get stuck and lost. So it's going to be an interesting hole. Hole 11, we have
You're doing great.
a par 4, 402. Right looks completely out of bounds. Left, you got a lot of tree trouble. Let's see what we got.
This is when you start to head back towards the mountains.
Yes.
It looks like that fairway comes down right to left too. So
bunkers come into play. Got a bunker short, bunker left. Again, coming across, you got that. It looks like a lot of that, maybe, right? We see a common thread here where there's some sort of activity going on in the middle of the fairway that could come into play on approach shots, or maybe thinning a shot. You're in trouble. Guarded by a bunch of bunkers. The green, and it's super odd. The green is kind of like a bowl, so I'm sure the pin will be in the left front at some points throughout the week, and then if it's on the backside, you got to probably if you land in the front of the green, you're in trouble. You're gonna have a 75-foot putt, and it's gonna be ugly. Hole 12.
This is the one that you can circle as going to be the most fun to watch. I circle this one as the most fun.
Par 4, 362. But if you cut the tree line, you can get there.
For sure.
I'm going to guess. Well, it actually says, right? So it's 295 from the white. So that's probably what you have cutting those trees, which almost every guy can go for it. So I think it depends on where they sit on each day. If they're in contention, they might play it safe, stay left, having a short approach in. If they're not, they might go for it. Nothing to lose.
The only thing that could probably sour that is if they have headwinds hitting into that would definitely sour that, because obviously you don't want to hit into that and get caught coming right down short of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, trouble short if you're trying to cut the corner there, because the green is like literally just beyond the schmutz.
Take us home.
Yeah, I'll take us home. Hole 13, par 4, 499 yards, dog leg right with a large bunker. If you're trying to cut the corner there, so be careful. Want to hit your shot on the left fairway so you can approach the big green. Green slopes left to right. 2 bunkers on the left side. So watch the pin placement there, because if the pin is on the left side, those bunkers can definitely come into play, even on a big green like that. Hole 14 is a par 3, 192. Kind of a 2-level green with a deep bunker on the front left. Not really a lot of trouble. It is the longest par 3 on the course, so that's good and bad. Because there's not a lot of trouble, but hitting a little bit of a longer iron. So I still think birdie's going to be a good score on this hole. The par 3s, when you go through the course, look like you can score here. So when I predict how far under par the winner is going to be, I think it's going to be more than at Mayakoba for sure, especially with the bombers hitting it out as far as they can. Hole 15, par 4, 435, straight out. This is another one of these like split fairways. Got a huge ass tree right in the middle, like literally dead center of the fairway. There is a very, very small green for this course when you're approaching. That is tucked way, way, way in the back left of the hole design. So any pin that's on the back of this green is going to be super hard to attack. Anything you miss left, there's a big slope that takes the ball right off and out of play. Anything short left is going to be in a horrible bunker with a tough, tight shot going back to that left pin. So this hole is going to play probably, when I'm doing the toughest holes, I got to imagine this one's going to be one of the tougher holes to play this weekend. Hole 16, hole 16 is another par 3, 178. There's a little bit of brush that juts out on the left side there, So I'm not sure if you can even actually see if there was a left pin placement. I'm not sure you can actually see the very far left of the green, depending on where the tee box is placed. So that could come into play, a little bit of sight problem, because I know these guys all like to get a good spot to line up their shot, a good target. Wide green, classic double bunker protection on the left side. That's been a staple throughout all of these greens. So definitely the course designers kind of stamp here for sure. Hole 17, par 5, 601. Woo, hit it hard.
Yikes.
Yeah. Dog
It
leg
looks like
left.
there's so much trouble on that
Yeah.
hole too.
Yeah, dog leg left, and they put the biggest bunker. I mean, the biggest bunker I saw on the last 6 holes. Basically, if anyone decided they wanted to come down the left side off the tee, that ball is going to come up well short and not roll out like it would in the fairway. So
Oh.
Yeah,
tough.
it looks like you have to place it over those bunkers on the right side to have
It
a
looks
good
like,
angle.
yeah, it looks like the target is the right side, for sure.
But who knows how far those bunkers are either. They
I
might
know.
come into play on the
They
right
might
side.
come.
You
They
gotta,
might
you
come
know.
into play. Yeah, you got to see how far. It might not even be a driver. You might not even be able to get there until. We'll find out.
Yeah, that
I
might
mean,
be
if
a
you really,
risk.
if you're really looking at it, if it's a 601, I mean,
Those bunkers
that-
are
that-
out there at about
that bu-
295, right?
yeah, they're just. I mean, they end right before halfway.
Yeah.
you
So
know?
they're probably in play for pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see maybe maybe even some like 3 irons or something like that played out there, and everyone's gonna play it for 3. Let's see, 2-tier green. If the pin is top tier on the left side, you got a big bunker over there. Super big green though, so any pin on the right side or center and right, they're going to be able to attack that. So I still think this hole will score pretty well as long as people are putting the ball in the fairway. I still do see that coming down the stretch. Hole 18, final hole, par 4, 447, straight up the mountains. Again, the big ass tree right in the middle, splitting the fairways. So that's going to be interesting. Wonder if, how wide the fairway actually is on either side, and if that is going to be tough to land. Nice large elevated green. Go left side, finish with a birdie. I think there'll be a birdie on 18 that might actually win this tournament. So
When you started talking, you said that you think it's going to be low scores,
no. Oh well, yes. Yeah, lots of red.
right?
Lots of red.
I-
You're
I
the other
don't
way. You think there's too much
No,
jump.
I don't disagree. I just think there are some really narrow fairways as you go through this. And the trouble here is not pine straw and pines to get
Right.
around where you have an opening. To
Right.
me, this looks like desert brush, which is going to eat up golf balls. So, and I think we've seen on the LIV Tour in the last Mayakoba, I mean, we got some sprayers, right? We got some
Yeah.
scramble guys that really scramble to score, and they can put together good rounds. But if you physically can't scramble to make par, this course looks like it might fall in that category.
Very interesting. I took it as when you watch events like in Saudi Arabia or, somewhere out there, and you see these like desert courses, it always seems like as long as that brush isn't right there on the ball, that they get a good lie and they're able to get a good clean shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're hitting out of sand over thick rough or branches or leaves,
Right.
like a lot of more eastern courses.
It'll be interesting. I still think winner is certainly double digits. I'm gonna say like
Oh, and who's that? Who do you think that is?
well, we're gonna pick an order. I think winner finishes 13 or 14 under. That's where I got the winner. But I say 14 under. 14 under wins it. And
14
so
under 3 days. Oof.
I know those are 3 scores in the 60s. Okay, so for this contest, to keep it fair, since we all have access to all the players except for the ones we picked last week, the person who finished last the week before is going to be able to pick first. And if, in event of a tiebreaker, it'll be overall score at that point that will break any ties on who picks first. So
And I'm at 6 under, you're at 5 under, and Crispy's at.
I think it's 7, 6, and 3. I think Cam finished 7.
I thought he was 6.
Maybe 6. 6,
Okay.
5, and 3, or 7, 6, and 3. One or the other. Anyway, Rome, get yourself back in this thing. Who you taking?
Once we take them, we're done, right?
You cannot. No. Well, you can take someone I took.
Right, but
And-
right. You
But-
can only take him once.
Yeah. So Jerome cannot take Abraham Answer.
So I'm going to go with Bryson DeChambeau. I think he's big off the tee. And I think that's going to play well for his game. I think he had, a rough start, just like a lot of the captains had a rough start to the league season. With Mykoba, I think he's going to bounce back. Swings a big stick. I think it'll really help put him in the right place because, that'll be a part of the game.
Got to hit it long.
Yep.
Take a bomber. Also, he played well on Sunday. And he watched his team basically carry him on their backs last week. So maybe he's got a little bit of fire. I like the
Going to
pick.
step up.
I like the pick. I'm glad you didn't take my guy. I didn't think anyone would take my guy, but I had four
You're
guys.
gonna take mine.
No, I had 4 guys here I wanted to take. I definitely didn't take the guy that you took. I'm taking Eugenio Lopez Chacarra. And I'm gonna
Did
tell you
not
why.
see that coming.
And I'm gonna tell you why. He played well. So he played an Asian tour event in Oman, and he played pretty well. T24, 72, 72, 73, 73 plus 2. He was T24. That was back in February. Last week at Mayakoba, he finished T27. Yeah, it's okay. But that was a 2 under, 1 under finish. So play better on Saturday and Sunday. So kind of got his game in a little bit of form. When I said pick guys who can hit it far and guys who can putt, he checks both boxes. T15 last year, LIV 2022 in putting 1.6 putts. T7 in LIV in 2022 in driving distance, 311.1. Hit it far, make some putts. He's on my team. I'm taking Chacarra.
Jay?
I left you with 2 guys. That I really want
No,
to take. And I know
I'm
you guys will.
picking this guy for one reason and one reason only. He's gonna go for everything. He's going to take every shot that he shouldn't take. And I think 90% of them are going to work out in his favor.
Wow.
You can't pick Wells.
I'm going to take Patty Reed.
Ah,
And I just think he is starting to trend, playing well.
from Arizona.
And
He's from Arizona too.
from Arizona. And I think I had a couple guys on my radar, but I think that's my pick this week. And I think he'll come in T3.
Oh, wait, you said Patty Reed. I thought
Patrick Reed.
you were taking Pat Perez. He's Pat
No.
Reed. Pat Reed is not from he's not from Arizona. Pat Perez is from Arizona. Patty Reed, huh?
Yeah.
I think you're right
Patty Reed.
about Yeah, I do. I think you're right about just kind of hit it and make something happen. That's kind of his game, right? It's interesting that you said you worry about the guys who spray it. He sprayed it last week or however many weeks ago.
Like I said, I think it's a all or nothing with him, but I'm taking it that he's going to execute the shots that he takes. I'm just going to leave it at that. I think it's going to prove in my favor. I'm going to go with it. I think he's going to shoot. My prediction side bet is that he's going
you
to.
got to get on one of these side bets here. Go ahead. It's all you.
He's gonna end T3 the end of the week individual.
Ooh.
And T3 is going to be 8. Winners 11.
Okay. I mean, if you're
There's
gonna
no
pick
actual
him,
bet there.
oh,
But
yeah, if you're gonna pick him, I mean, you got to pick him to finish in the top 5. I'm curious. I'm shocked actually that no one took DJ. Is it because he didn't play so well in
he was on my
Mayakoba?
list. He was on my short list.
I mean, what, the last round was kind of a meltdown for him, wasn't it?
Listen, he's a bomber. He can work the ball. He putts
I'm
like
just- I'm
nobody's
just-
business. I think he'd
but
be a
just-
great
I
pick
don't
here,
know.
but I'm going with Reed.
God damn.
Plus, I want to keep DJ for a course. He really
I know.
drives that
Same. Fuck, I hate this game. Fucking hate this game.
strategy.
Rome, do your thing.
All right, guys, listen up. We want to hear from you. So leave a comment, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell in the corner. If you're thinking about it, just do it. If you're not thinking about it, do it fucking anyway. Just a bunch of regular guys talking about golf. We want to hear from you. Enjoy this weekend. Put some money down, win some money for the kids, Throw a little our way if you feel like it.
If you're in New York, get your snowblower out.
Yeah.
If you're in Charleston, let's play some golf.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let's get the fuck out of here.